The Stalked 2 is a standalone horror sequel that follows the story of a 26-year-old named Rachel, an avid hiker in search of a peaceful retreat at a secluded cabin. However, her journey quickly transforms into a terrifying ordeal filled with eerie encounters and unsettling events. As the story unfolds, players will experience a surprising twist that leads them to question what is truly real. Make sure to stick around till the end to discover what really happens to Rachel. Rachel starts her day by taking her daily vitamins. Suddenly, the world feels brighter as she glances at the advertisement for the cabin she has booked for her getaway. The ad includes a brief description of the place and oddly reminds her not to forget to pack her vitamins, as they help start the day off right. After gathering a few groceries from around her house, Rachel gets ready to leave. However, before she can head out, her landlord shows up. He informs her that her rent is overdue by 2 months and gives her 3 more days to pay it, otherwise he will have to evict her. Rachel assures him that she will pay and leaves for the cabin. Upon arriving at the Serene location, Rachel soon realizes that she will need to hike to the cabin, which is deep in the woods. While making her way there, she encounters a woman named Elizabeth. Elizabeth mentions that she'd just come from the cabin and had an amazing stay, but she is now leaving since it's getting late. She also warns Rachel that she has quite a way to go and expresses surprise that Rachel is hiking alone, especially since there's a killer on the loose. Not thinking much of it, Rachel and Elizabeth part ways. Continuing along the trail for a while, Rachel decides to set up camp for the night, as it's getting late and she won't reach the cabin in time. After pitching her tent, she crawls inside and reads her book. About an hour later, she hears footsteps outside the tent. When she investigates, she discovers a picture of her family. Finding it strange, she goes back inside, assuming it must have been dropped by someone passing by. The next day, she packs her things and finishes the last leg of her hike to the cabin. On her way there, she encounters a stranger who warns her to be careful. Undeterred, she continues to the cabin. Upon arriving, she takes a look around and quickly finds a spot where she can escape her daily life. However, one thing stands out. The outdoor bath has a horrible smell, reminiscent of something that has died nearby. Not letting that bother her, she goes inside to prepare some food. As the evening approaches, she sets up candles and lanterns around the property. After completing that task, she heads inside to check on her food. After eating, Rachel decides to make a fire and realizes she's out of wood and needs to go outside to gather some. While she's collecting the wood, she starts hearing strange noises. To make matters worse, the lantern begins to flicker. She rushes inside, and once the lantern starts working, she heads out. But suddenly, the stranger appears again. He asks if she's found his family picture. She tells him it's inside and offers to get it for him while he waits outside. Once inside, she retrieves the picture, but when she turns around, she sees the stranger standing at the door, looking into the house. She hands him the picture and he thanks her before leaving. She grabs the wood and heads back inside to start the fire. Before she knows it, Rachel drifts off to sleep. When she wakes up in the morning, Rachel starts her day by taking her vitamins. However, before she can finish, she experiences an episode of psychosis. Everything goes black and white, and when she looks outside, she sees Elizabeth's dead body in the bath. Terrified, she rushes inside and takes her vitamins again. Everything seems to return to normal, but fearing that the place is haunted, she decides to run to her car. On her way to the car, Rachel sees someone peeking from behind the rocks. Growing increasingly frightened, she makes a run for her car. But when she arrives, she blacks out and later wakes up in the cabin. He introduces himself as Case, the owner of the cabin. He tells her she was unresponsive for 15 minutes. Rachel mentions there was someone dead in the tub, but he insists there's nothing there. Seeing her distress, he offers her the option to stay another night on the house. Eventually, she agrees. Rachel decides to gather wood for the fireplace to avoid a repeat of the previous night. She also wants to make mushroom stew, so she goes outside to harvest some around the property. After finding them, she makes the stew in a cauldron. While it's cooking, she turns around and sees strange shadows in the tree line. As she gets closer, they disappear, and it feels like hours have passed. On her way back inside, she begins to hear strange voices in her head telling her to do things, and she chooses to follow them. The voices lead her to a creek, and upon arriving, she sees fishing gear. Rachel then has another episode, during which she sees Case dead. After this, she hears another voice guiding her, which leads her back to the house so she can open a chest. Though she needs to find a key first. She discovers the key inside a pot and then opens the chest, revealing several items that belong to Elizabeth, the stranger, and Case. It becomes clear that she had stumbled upon the killer's trophies, and she realizes that he'd killed both Case and Elizabeth. Rachel then experiences another vision. Inside the house, she then finds a family picture that reveals that she was part of the family. In her vision, she witnesses a conversation between Case and Elizabeth, which sounds like Rachel and the stranger had an addiction, and they were on the verge of cutting off financial support for their children, having already lost them. It becomes evident what's happened. Rachel and her brother discovered that their parents were planning to cut off financial support. In a desperate move, Rachel's brother decided to kill their parents so they could inherit the family fortune, and now he was coming for Rachel. She goes upstairs to the balcony to see if she can spot him approaching, but he surprises her from behind, already waiting. As she closes her eyes, he disappears. Confused to why he left her, she goes downstairs and has another blackout, waking up in a different cabin. As she explores further, she finds a board listing all of the possible killers. After trying your luck, it becomes clear what really happened. It wasn't your brother who killed your parents. It was Rachel. She wanted the inheritance for herself to feed her addiction and pay her rent. Rachel aimed to pin the murders on Nathan, but he came home early. When he walked in, he saw everything, forcing Rachel to kill her brother to cover her tracks. The vitamins Rachel was taking weren't actually vitamins at all. They were some kind of drug that she was addicted to. That's why when she took them, the world seemed brighter. In a desperate attempt to rid herself of the unsettling visions, she took too many and ended up overdosing. She died on her way to the car. The game concludes with a full story revealed in an article. The true stalker of the story was Rachel's guilt. That wraps up our video. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's keep the discussion going. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.